So, you know, welcome again, Mark Speaks. You know how I do. Always chopping it up, always cooking these books. So I wanna talk about having your internal confidence, right? Talking about internal confidence. As a kid growing up, I was always like, again, vulnerability, right? That's a sign of confidence right there, being vulnerable. That's step one right there. I didn't even realize that. But I'm gonna take the facade down, take the mask, take the whole smoke screen that we kind of envelop ourselves into to hide behind. And I'm going to say, listen, as a kid growing up, there was like, I hated adults. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to be honest. Like, I did not like adults. I thought adults suck, right? As a kid, I'm talking about as a kid, 10, 11, 12, 9, as a kid, hated adults. I thought all adults should just like go to an island where there's no kids. It's just adults. Because there's just like evil adults and they're all just around each other. Like, I hated adults as a kid. And I remember, I say that because I remember, again, I want to talk about confidence, having your own internal confidence. I remember the reason why I hated adults, because they would always try to make me feel like insecure. As a kid, this is a kid I'm talking about, right? Like, adults would always try to put me down. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I did, it was like they would always try to put me down. Now, that's vague. So I'm going to give you some specifics. Like, if I did good in school, and like I was saying, okay, I want to do this, it would be shot down immediately. Shot down. You know what I'm saying? They would just like rain on my parade. So I always thought like adults suck. You know what I'm saying? Because anytime I had like an idea, or if I talked about my last video, sensitivity. Whenever I sensed something in the environment that wasn't right for me as a kid, it was always, it was always me. It was always you. Like, the adults would always make it feel like it's you. You're the problem. You know what I'm saying? You're the problem child. So I always felt like, psychologically, I grew up fucked up. Pardon my French. But psychologically, I grew up messed up. Always thinking like, I'm the problem. I always saw myself as a burden. Wherever I went, I always saw myself as a burden. And this is the result of adults. That's what I thought. Adults suck. Now I'm an adult. I don't suck, though, because I make sure that I don't suck. But most adults, when I was a kid, suck. And adults today still suck, right? But I'm an adult now, so I could deal with adults. So it's different. They don't suck as much because I could check them. But as a kid, I thought they sucked. And I realized, though, that as a man, your confidence, right? And I'm talking to men. Your confidence within yourself has to be solely rest and based on your own inner workings. And again, that's vague, so let me be specific. You got to have your own internal belief system. You have to have your own internal convictions. Shakespeare once famously said, "Man, know thyself." You have to know who you are in this ocean of life. You have to have a deep-rooted, deep-seated belief in yourself. You have to know what you want out of life. You have to have a solid, concrete plan to go and get what you want out of life, irrespective of obstacles, objects, difficulties, pushbacks, failures. All of that's going to come. But you got to have a belief centered in the core of who you are. I talked about atoms, and what keeps an atom together is the nucleus within the atom, right? And that I want to use that as a representative, that you have to have your own internal nucleus, something that binds you as a person, that binds all of your many facets, right? I'm sure you guys are familiar with the movie 50 Shades of Grey. I'll borrow the title from 50 Shades of Grey. You have to have a nucleus to bind all of your 50 shades of gray, your 50 shades of hues, your diverse personality. Because we're all diverse. I have on a New York Yankee hat. Tomorrow I might have on a Mets or a Knicks. We all wear different hats, right? What you see today might not be what you see tomorrow or next week, but at the end of the day, because we're multifaceted creatures, and we do have we're multicellular creatures, right? Trillions of cells. we, you know, we could spin that off and say we have multi-personality types, right? You know, our personalities vary. Sometimes your personality is dictated by the weather. It's raining right now. It could be dictated by, you know, what's happening at the present moment in your life. So I say all that to say, we have to have a nucleus. We have to have something within us that is like a ship has an anchor, right? And no matter what the waves of the water is doing, as long as that anchor is anchored to the bottom of the ocean, to something solid, that ship won't, I mean, it will wobble, right? It will rock, but it won't drift off from where it is placed, its position. That's what I mean. We have to have something within us that center us, is center of gravity, that centers us, that no matter what winds or what storms, tumultuous storms of life, weather, or any kind of adverse conditions visit us, because it will, right? Whatever visits us or come up on us, we're able to stay centered and anchored and grounded in whatever your truth is. So that, you know, again, if you think of a tree, when a storm or a tsunami passes, most trees are broken, but a palm or a tree that has some flexibility usually is left behind standing. So you have to have a root that's firmly rooted in the ground, and at the same time maintain some flexibility so that you can actually roll with the punches of life. You know, sometimes life hits you with various combinations. You have to sometimes know how to bob and weave and roll and duck and, you know, and stand after, you know, you might have a bloody nose and your eyes are swollen and you're looking like garbage, but you still stand. Confidence, internal confidence, fellas, develop it. Shouldn't be placed on anything external, rather just internal confidence.